Welcome back. This is exercise 1 on one way within subjects ANOVA. So the question is, a school social worker examined the impact of new truancy prevention program on the number of truancies at a local school. Truancy is you bunking classes or being absent from the classes or not attending classes. So 15 children were enrolled in the new program and the number of truancies for each child was tracked over a 9-month period and the number of truancies recorded in 3-month interval. So data is provided in figure 1. So we have data for 15 students for you can say how much truancies or their missing classes was there in the first 3 months, next 3 months, and last 3 months. So 0 to 3 months is one period, the second is 3 to 6 months, and the last one is 6 to 9 months. So again, you can say the independent variable here happens to be time, and it is having three levels. And the number of classes they've missed actually happens to be the continuous variable, which is continuous, you can say, variable, which is dependent also. So there, we have to enter this data into SPSS file and then do A, B, C, D, E, and F questions. A is about defining the null and D, you can say, alternate hypothesis. B is talking about research questions. C is talking about is there a difference between is there a difference in the number of truancies over the three time period? So we have to test that at alpha is equal to 0.05. What is the effect size for ANOVA? If the overall ANOVA is significant, perform follow-up test as appropriate. Adjust alpha for each test so that the set of the test does not exceed zero point 0.5 and write the results of the test. So that's the question for us. So I've just copied the question and I'll be moving with the analysis part. So friends, that's the data before us. So we have got the three, you can say quarters. I've just mentioned that it's quarters 1 and 2 and 3 rather than writing 0 to 3 or 3 to 6 or 6 to 9 months. So that's data for 15 students. So how many times they were absent in the month, in the first 3 months, next 3 months, and the last 3 months. And then the variable views have been mentioned as quarter 1, where the level is 0 to 3 months and the measure is scale. Similarly for quarter 2 and quarter 3. So straight away you can say moving to the question, we will be, you can say, doing one way within subjects ANOVA. So for that we go to analyze, we go to general linear model, we go for repeated measures. Here we are naming the factor. The factor is basically time, that is the independent variable. It is having three levels. We know 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and 6 to 9 months. I'm adding it here. I'm defining it here. When I define here, I've got the three, you can say, months here, three periods rather here. So I'm putting up here. And then we have got, you can say, the options here. I'm moving, you can say, uh, the descriptive here. Just a minute, please. So I'm moving to options. So we have got descriptive here, we have got estimate of size effect here, and then I'll click on continue, and here it is. And I say OK, and the analysis has been performed. So what we have got as answer. So I'll be just sharing the, you can say, output file with you. So the output file is in your screens now. Here the output file is, and look at quarter 1, that is 0 to 6 3 months, uh, quarter 2, that is 3 to 6 months, and quarter 3 is 6 to 9 months. And then we have got the mean. So mean, if you look at the truancy level, was 33 initially for the first 3 months, next 3 months 32, and has lowered down quite low to 25, you can see the third quarter. And then if you look at the standard deviation is actually, you can say, increasing. So it was 7.08, becoming a bit higher, 7.46, and lastly it is 7.8.17. So if you look at, you can say, the test within the subjects where we can say greenhouse geyser is the test we are actually looking at, and the degree of freedom is 1.713, mean square is 293.141, degree of freedom f value happens to be 15.201, and significance is 000. Now here if you look at the greenhouse geyser, Since the significance is coming to, you can say 0.000, or it is, you can say significant, or you can say p-value is less than 0.05, we have to do the second test. And now we'll be going for paired sample t-test. So I'm moving on that, analyze, compare means, and I'm moving to paired sample t-test. So the first pair is, you can say 3 months, and next one is 6 months, 3 to 6 months. Again, the second pair, 0 3 months, and then 6 to 9 months. Another pair I'm having is 3 to 6 months, and then 6 to 9 months. This is what I'm having. I'll simply click on OK, and we have the answer coming up here again. So the answer that's coming up is that for pair 1, if you look at the pair 1, pair 2, and pair 3, we are not looking at the correlations, we are looking at, you can see the t-value. So pair 1, the t-value happens to be insignificant, 0.872, with a significance degree of 0.398. So we'll not be accepting that for pair 1, where we are talking about 0 3 months or 3 to 6 months, we don't see any significant difference in the trend C, or trend C has not actually significantly lowered after the first, you can say, two quarters, within the first 2 quarters. And then for peer 2, when we are looking at the first quarter, that is 0 to 3 months, and the last quarter, 6 to 9 months, we find there's a significant decrease in, you can say, number of truancies, with t-value of 4.752, and significance, it's highly significant at 0.000. Similarly, for part 3, pair 3 rather, where we are having the second, you can say, period, quarter, that is 3 to 6 months to 6 to 9 months. So quarter 2 and quarter 3 being compared, so t value comes to 3.919, which is again highly significant at 14 degrees of freedom, and significance being 0.002. So this is the data we have got. Now we are moving to the last part, where we'll be answering. So now here we are answering the question. So the question is before you. This was a question. Now coming to the answer, the hypothesis have been, you can say, stated, the null and alternate. So H N, that is the null hypothesis, that is all the three, you can say, quarters, that is 0 to 3 months or 3 to 4 months or 4 to 6, 6 to 9 months, will have the same, what do you call it, truancy rate, or number of truancies will remain same. But the alternate hypothesis says that at least one of the means is different from the others. So that becomes the null and alternate hypothesis. Research question has been stated that is there a difference in the number of truancies over the 3 time period? So that is what we are actually looking at. Now the question comes, which we are mentioning here from the analysis we have done with right now. So is there a difference in the number of truancies over the 3 time period? So the number of truancies of the students were significantly different over the 3 time period. Now we are seeing it, and greenhouse Geyser adjusted, you can say, value at f is equal to 1.713, comma 293.141, it comes to 15.201, and p value happens to be less than 0.05. So this is how we are trying to see that, okay, for the 3, you can say, time periods, the truancy rate was significantly different. And if we are talking of ANOVA, so partial ANOVA, the formula is given, sorry, effect size of ANOVA, so partial eta square we are calculating. So the formula is known to us, and the value comes to 0.052, which is quite high. Now the E part of the question was, if the overall ANOVA is significant, perform follow-up test as appropriate, adjust alpha for each test so that set of tests does not exceed 0.05. Now, since you can see the greenhouse Geyser adjusted, you can say F was coming to 15.201, which means the P was, you can say, significant, because it was less than 0.05. So we had conducted, you can say, another test known as paired sample t-test, where we had 3 pairs. The pair of, you can say, first 3 months to next 3 months. Then we have the first 3 months to last 3 months, and then the second 3 months to the last 3 months. So this is how the 3 pairs were created. The t value we have got is that the t value of the first one was quite low. So we have not accepted the things here. The differences are not significant because significance comes to a very high value of 0.398, and P actually happens to be more than 0.1016. And for the second, you can say if you look at zero point 0.3 months to 6.6 to 9 months, we are seeing that the t value is high, significance is there. Similarly, for the last 3 to 6 months to compare to 6 to 9 months, again the t value happens to be 3.919, which is again significant at 0.002. So this is how you can say we have tried to work up and understand the things by doing paired sample t-test. One thing is there. The question says adjust alpha for each test so the test set of values does not exceed rather 0.05. So what we have done is we have you can say ensure that the total of the three here 0.016 plus 0.016 plus 0.016, this total you can say is just touching 0.05 or a bit less than that. So that we have managed, and this actually you can say is the adjustment which we have to do when we have got three you can say three you can say levels. Had we got only two levels, we could have made it you can say p less than p is greater than or less than you can say equal to 0.025. If there are four levels, we'll be making it, you can say P greater than or less than, whatever the case may be, 0.012. So that is how we are simply, you can say, adjusting alpha when you can say, when we have to ensure that the total values of, you can say, alpha for all the four or all the three or all the two, whatever the number of, you can say, labels we have got of the independent variable does not exceed 0.05. And finally, we are writing the result for the study. So the number of truancies for the students was significantly different over the three time periods. Greenhouse Geyser adjusted F 1.713, and you can say the mean you can say scores was 293.141. So the F value is 15.201 with P is greater than 0 is less than 0.05, and partial eta square we have just calculated here in D part is equal to 0.52. So effect size is quite large. Dependent sample t-test were conducted to assess which on the time occasions differed from the one another, with each test conducted at an alpha level of 0.016. The results indicated that truancy was significantly lower at the 6 to 9 month period. So that's there. And we have another data where you can say we are talking about the mean we have got, the standard deviation we have got, and the t-test we have done. So this is how we have taken from this, you can say from this thing only, this data only, this table only. So we have tried to answer and simply say that the things where you can say more significantly different for peer 2 and peer 3, and there was no difference for peer 1. This is what is being said in this particular you can say information here. So that is all about you can say one way within subjects ANOVA. So in case you have some questions or issues, please you can say WhatsApp or you can say email me. And one request to all of you is please look at these assignments and practice them sincerely. That's a humble request. And thank you, Din. Thank you.